Yeah. What? Yeah. Uh. Hey. 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 Hey.
Welcome in. Happy New Year. NYMD podcast. Kevin Hart, Brian Sherrard, who disappeared. I didn't know where he was going. He's back now. So got worried a little bit. We got a lot of show today. So we got a lot to go through. So everybody, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. I can't believe we made it to 2022, man. It's funny. I was telling the kids, like, I just remember growing up, being a little kid, thinking, man, it'll be so cool when we get to the year 2000. You know what I'm saying? And now it's 2022.
Well, yeah, and that was freaky.
Yeah.
The whole year was crazy. That getting to that point, 92Q playing Prince's 1999 all day.
Yes.
All day the year before. Then going into 2000, Y2K, everybody's got their not everybody, some people had their canned goods and everything ready. So yeah, I do remember that. But
was that a thing for you? Like when you were little, like, man, I can't wait to get to the year two. Like, was the year 2000 like a oh, that'd be cool when we get to that year or anything like that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, oh, cool, a new year's coming up. Had nothing to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't. I think the only year, if I'm not mistaken, is what was the year in Transformers? I think it was it was 2005 or something. Because Transformers came out in '86, and I think that movie was supposed to be like 2005 or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think that's the only thing. I was like, who the Transformers? That's all I kept remembering, but not like I was expecting Transformers to show up or nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, the only other year I was looking forward to was, of course, 2015, because that's the year Marty went 30 years into the future, from Back to the Future. And I just wanted to see how close, you know what I'm saying, things were going to be to the movies.
Well, we do have hoverboards. So
Yeah, we have hoverboards. We had the Cubs, we had Miami. They were right about that.
Yeah.
Flat screen TVs. They were right about that. So they were, but what was suspiciously missing from 2015 Back to the Future were cell phones. So they didn't pick up on that, but they got some things right though. So
yeah, they should have been ashamed for getting that wrong.
But anyway,
all right, yes, welcome to NYMD podcast. Happy New Year. We're here on StreamYard and YouTube. Of course, you can find us on Facebook, IG, and Twitter, NYMD podcast, and of course, we're on the Spreaker and Stitcher apps, as well as Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Everywhere you find podcasts, you will find NYMD podcast. So hopefully you had a good New Year. You celebrated. I know you celebrate hard. So what time would you go to bed? Like 12:02, 12:03?
Let's see. I went to bed almost 2:00 in the morning.
Oh wow, big time.
Yeah, but you know what I did? I got nostalgic. Me and Nathan played like some Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, man, because we got into a conversation. Yeah, what's your favorite video game all time? And I said, yeah, probably either Mario 2 or Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So yeah, so he has like all these old Sonic games on his PlayStation or whatever. So yeah, we were playing that for a little bit. But yeah, all of us stayed up. We did a little bit of everything. We watched a movie, watched a little bit of church service, did a little bit of singing. You know what I mean?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but yeah, and then me and Nate played video games. I hadn't played a video game in a minute, so yeah, man, it was cool. Didn't get to bed till about 1:30, 2 o'clock ish, but yeah, it was cool, man.
That's what the night's for. So
yeah, man. How about you and yours, man? Everybody enjoyed
it? No, everybody went to bed. Murdy had to go to work at 7, which I had to drive her. So therefore, she went early. Of course, Juice went early. Soapy was up till 3 though.
Oh wow!
I was like, you're on your own. But we watched movies that made us. We watched Elf.
Yay!
So we were watching.
Wasn't that story really good though?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, man.
I was like, I mean, just all, but I feel like that's almost we always hear that about every movie, like who could have been the star and what direction they wanted to take. And they were cutting stuff out.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and of course having Kevin Favreau in it.
Yes.
Just like I was like, oh yeah, like because remember seeing him to who he is now.
Yeah.
So so it's like it was pretty. That was just pretty cool. And like I said, just wanted to change it because Old School came out right before that movie. Yeah. That I wanted to change it. Like stop messing up something that's going to be something you're going to regret messing up.
Yeah.
Because it is a holiday classic. So.
Right. And I think
you know what I missed this year that I just thought about yesterday.
What's that?
I didn't see Charlie Brown.
Okay, now we watched Charlie Brown on Christmas Eve, so we did see it this year.
What channel was it on?
Oh no, we watched it on I think Apple Plus.
Oh, okay. So you have I don't have Apple Plus.
Yeah.
So, okay.
No, but it's still on. I think PBS still.
That's what I think. I thought so too. I just the thing is because it's not on CBS, so to me it would always just be. Right. I know where to look for it at. Now PBS doesn't pop in my head like that.
Right.
So I don't remember it coming on, and then I was like, "Wait, did I miss it this year?" So I hate that. I really hate that. I didn't like the fact that it went to a streaming. I don't care what streaming network it is.
Right.
I don't care if it was Netflix or one that everybody has. It needs to be on regular prime time television.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
It's like if they took away a Christmas Story. Right. Oh, Christmas Story now streaming on Amazon Video. What? Amazon Prime. What?
No.
What? No, I lose my mind. But anyway, we got a lot of stuff to get into, man. We have our top player, coach, game, team, comeback player of the year. We got a lot of stuff going on. So, of course, NCAA and NFL, as well as No Way Home. Somebody went to the movies this past week.
Yeah,
that would be me.
I'm really looking forward to talking to you about this because I want to talk to you about your movie experience as well. So
okay,
yeah, not just the movie, but your experience.
Gotcha. All right, so let's start off with NCAA real quick. So is that what you start with, or you want to start with something else?
Well, I would rather start off by paying some respects.
Oh yeah, dude. You know me, I just went right into the sports. But speaking of going right into sports. Speaking of icons, speaking of sports, speaking of somebody who I almost became iconic because of a video game to some people. Now, we knew him as a broadcaster before, but the video game that bared his name was, I don't know, was transcendent, I guess. Yeah. And that's John Madden. John Madden passed away last week. And man, dude, you don't want to talk about it's weird. It's so weird how at least for us, and so his coaching career didn't even matter. Like we knew he coached. Right. We didn't see him coach the Raiders when he coached the Raiders. We had no clue. I don't know. Him and Pat Summerall were like the perfect team.
Yeah.
And the dude couldn't fly. He had a bus to go everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was just really cool. And then the video game came out, and I just remember that was it.
Yeah.
That was it, man. So, man, what are your thoughts on John Madden?
Yeah, man. Like you said, icon, man. Icon. So he was a coaching icon, Hall of Fame coach, a broadcasting icon, and then he's a pop cultural icon. I mean, it's amazing because of the video game. Everybody knows John Madden because of that video game.
Yep.
and it bears his name each and every year. And he's just iconic. It's I'm not trying to sound funny or anything, but when we've been watching the games, I think it's been either the Fox Thursday games or the Monday night games or whatever. Have you noticed they've been doing these like feature like these icon like these John Madden features? Like I think I don't know if it's Monday Night Football or if it's Thursday Night Football, but they've had these little featurettes with John Madden every week, and it's like Peyton Manning talking to John Madden, or when Tom Brady talked to John Madden, and it's just I was like, wow, I was wondering why they were doing that, and then it just kind of led up to his death, almost like they knew this was going to happen. I like I said, I know that sounds kind of weird. I wish you knew what I was talking about, but yeah, they've been doing these featurettes with all these games with John Madden, man. But when I think of him, I just think of icon. I mean, that's, and he had, like I said, he had influences in all those realms, and it's amazing. It's truly amazing.
No, the dude was, again, just because he did mostly NFC games, if I'm not mistaken, because Fox or whatever channel had NFC games. So we always got him for all the games.
Yep.
So, but the problem is I haven't heard his voice in so long. The voice I have in my head is Frank Caliendo's.
Oh, and that's the other thing I forgot. He's probably one of the most imitated people of all time. When you do an imitation, people love to try to imitate John Madden. Of course, like you said, Frank Caliendo, he to me, he did it the best. But
but you know what? That's one person I can't impersonate. I can boom is the only word.
Right.
I think everybody has, but I can't do the way that Frank Caliendo does it. I mean, it was so perfect.
Yeah. And Dan's right. The way he just like explain plays and stuff, talking about the A gap and the B gap and the boom and all that.
Exactly. But the boom was when you throw the ball right there, boom. And that was it. But he didn't use the slant pattern. It was just a drawing. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, Peyton could sit there like this is an A, A, B, use a whatever hot fly tomato 27 to, it's none of that. It's just, you see the guy here, he just goes, all he does is flash to the quarterback and then boom, it's gone. That was it. It was so simple that we could understand.
Right.
So that's what I always loved about him. And I know he hasn't been on TV in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's like once he was off TV, he was gone. He just lived his life and that was it. But yeah, it's an icon, a sports icon. So another sports icon, Hall of Fame coach, player that passed away was Dan Reeves.
Yeah, man.
He was a player for the Dallas Cowboys. He also coached Denver and the New York Giants.
Yep.
So he passed away, I think, on New Year's Day. It was just yesterday.
Yeah.
I think he was 77.
Yeah.
Did he coach Atlanta?
I thought he did.
Yeah, I think he coached Atlanta as well.
Yeah, because he was their coach with the Dirty Birds Super Bowl run, right?
Yeah, because I remember him trying to do the Dirty Bird.
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Dan Reeves is one of those coaches where you kind of grew up and he was almost in the league already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and he's just reminds me of an old school NFL coach. Former player. Disciplined, respected. He had one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. It was just, one of those things where, he was an NFL lifer.
Yep.
Again, another Hall of Famer passed away. But speaking of Hall of Famers and someone else passing away, whose last commercial had to do with football.
Oh.
If I can recall. She's an icon. She's part of my number one music themed show.
Yeah.
In history. And she lived to a ripe age of 99, like 17 days till her 100th birthday.
Oh, man.
And I'm talking about the great, incomparable Betty White.
Betty White, man.
So whose commercial was a Snickers commercial.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Going across the middle. It's like So you're playing like Betty White. It's not what your mother said.
Dude, that girl, I totally forgot about that commercial. So
Yo,
good.
just remember it was she run across the middle and get hit. It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
oh my God, Betty White. You know?
Yeah.
And it was like, it's not what your mother said. Yo. I don't know anybody cooler. I don't know if it's an age thing. Like you just get older, you just like, I just don't care. I'm just chilling. She was always cool.
Yeah.
To me, I knew her as Rose on Golden Girls.
Right.
I didn't know her on the Mary Tyler Moore show or anything. She wasn't really in a lot of movies. But it's go ahead.
No, I was gonna say no. I think she did do a couple of TV shows. She was still working. That's the crazy thing. Like with Betty White, like she was working. She was on that show. I can't think of the name of it. Is it like Hot in Cleveland or something like that? I forget the name of it. I think she was on that, but she will pop up here and there, man. But
she remember she even hosted Saturday Night Live. She was like 88 or something.
Yeah, and it's funny you say because I was gonna bring it up because I watch Saturday Night Live like every week. And I distinctly remember when she was on it, man, because I remember thinking like, man, she's almost 90 years old and she's doing this hosting stuff.
Yeah,
and
it was called Hot in Cleveland.
Yeah, Hot in Cleveland. Okay, yeah, she was on that. But yo, the day she when she hosted Saturday Night Live, yo, she was mad funny, man. Like it was so good, man. And there was one segment I don't even think I can mention on here that was hilarious. She put it this way, she recreated a I can't it's kind of hard to explain. I don't want to get into it, but anyway, she was mad funny on it. Dan said her last movie was Toy Story 4. Okay, which I still haven't seen for some reason. I need to see that. But then, yeah, Betty White was awesome, man. Icon. And for me, like the older she got, she didn't seem like she didn't seem like she was at old. Like, I had no idea she was 99. Like, I would have never
every
known.
year we would learn her age, but she still was the same.
Yeah, like wow, man. Betty White is awesome, man.
Yeah, she was even on WWE Raw back in 2014.
What?
Yep. I mean, she was everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the stuff she was in Community. She was in Prep and Landing.
She was in Community?
Yeah.
That's
she
my show.
Was in like 2 episodes.
Dang, I don't remember her being in Community. That's my show too.
Yeah, 2 episodes. She was, when you look and just see, like she was in the Lorax as a voice.
Oh, okay. Can you see what was she in before Golden Girls? Because I really don't know. All I know is Betty White, Golden Girls, and after. What was she in before?
Way back for that. She was on Empty Nest. No. Golden Girls was 85. Hold on. Let me go back to 84. She was in Hotel for. I didn't know she was in St. Elsewhere.
Wow.
A couple of, but these are all like guest appearances.
Oh, okay.
So before that, she actually had the Betty White show.
Oh,
from 77 to 78.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, everything else was just because in 73 to 77 was the Mary Tyler Moore show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she had her own show, which was 14 episodes. And then from there was just a bunch of guest appearances until she was on Love Boat. That's what it was.
What? Betty White
Love Boat from 80 to 85.
Damn.
She appeared on Who's the Boss?
Wow.
And Mama's Family.
Okay. That sounds a little familiar. I think I remember her on Mama's Family. I love Mama's Family, man.
Matlock, and she's in everything.
Yeah, so she's done freaking everything. Okay.
Yeah, so
she's an icon. She's a legend. I mean, we can't say enough about Betty White, man. When I found that out,
she was a real G. She was a real G.
Yeah. And it was the type of thing when you got the news, I didn't even believe it.
No,
I didn't believe it.
But I think we were on the phone.
Yeah.
You probably, and this is what you thought I was calling you for.
Yeah. So what happened was Leslie told me, but I'm like, nah, we got to do some research to make sure this is legit.
Because she's been dying for the last 15 years.
Right. So that when you called, I was like, okay, this must be the confirmation because you give me like all the breaking news, right? But you didn't even mention, like you hadn't even found out yet because I heard your reaction And when I heard you, I already knew you didn't even have to say anything. Like I already knew what your reaction was. All right, Dan said, "Don't forget she played the old lady in Lake Placid." I didn't see that movie, so
man, no one saw that movie. I don't know why he puts upset. Who sees that movie? Don't forget. How are we going to forget when we never saw it? That's Lake Placid. Who the hell watched Lake Placid?
Oh man,
so like I mean, the Toy Story 4 that was great. This thing, dude, no.
Yeah, man, but that one hurt. That one hurt though. Hurt. That like I said that was.
Well, especially when you really found out that it actually happened.
Yeah.
So, Lake Placid.
So just rest in peace, rest in power to all three of them, and thanks for their contributions, man.
Yeah, to everything.
Yep,
everything. All right. So speaking of contributions, it's 2022 now.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get into our regular show. We got about an hour. We got to cram this stuff in. So first things first, I always start with college football normally on this show.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to start out with Alabama against Cincinnati and Georgia against, I don't know who they played. So Bama, Cincinnati.
All right.
It was the first game. Did you watch it?
Yes.
Okay.
I watched the entire game. All right. So first of all, Alabama was a 14-point favorite. Who was your pick to win and
Alabama, of course.
Okay. Now, did you think they were going to win by 14 points?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I did feel that Cincinnati is a good team.
Okay.
The difference is you can tell the difference between teams because I don't know if you remember when that Cincinnati kid lined up for a field goal.
Nah.
All right. So they were supposed to score a touchdown. Like they were on their way to scoring a touchdown until Nick Saban called a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got those next 3 plays, they got like 0 yards. There was a slant that was wide open that should have been 7, but the linebacker jumped up and batted the ball down.
Okay.
And then it was like a running play and another pass play, and it was like three downs. And then because they moved the ball. Like they literally moved the ball on Alabama all the way down the field. And then once Nick called that timeout and they made adjustments, that was it.
Okay.
But the field goal kicker came out and it was like Cincinnati field goal kickers. It was like they're on their 3rd kicker. And the kickers were like, it was some crazy stat of like 4 for like 15 or something of field goals. And in my head, I'm thinking that's the differences between a Cincinnati and an Alabama who has a scholarship kicker who's the best guy in the country, or Ohio State who has a kicker who's the best guy in the country. Cincinnati literally probably had a dude that woke up during the season and they said they needed help and came off the soccer field to show up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the kick for them. Like that's literally what happened. But I think from that point when they didn't score, Alabama just kind of warmed down and just kept running the ball. And just wearing them down. And actually they start using a fast-paced offense. Just all right, let's go, run, and wore them down eventually. But I think Cincinnati made a good showing for themselves. I think they played well. I know they didn't really. If you look at the final score, which I can't remember what it was.
I think it was 27-6.
Yeah. It may look like that was bad, but they really, really did well to me.
Yeah.
Because it could have been one of those games where they could have got just blown out. They just really could have got blown out. But I think their defense is always good. Their defense has been good all season.
Yeah.
And they just got worn down. But I enjoyed watching that game.
Yeah.
And I actually did watch that game.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Me and my brother, we talked about this before the game, and he was saying, Alabama, he was saying Cincinnati's going to be able to get they're not going to get beat by more than 15 points. 14 points. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, there's a couple things that Cincinnati has. I was like, A, they play in the SEC. B, they have superior talent. And C, they have superior coaching. And I just feel like Nick Saban is not going to lose to Cincinnati. He's not going to lose to Cincinnati, and they're going to beat them by 14 points. But that being said, man, I was really pleased with the way they played. Like I think Cincinnati showed that they deserve to be that number 4 seed, that they deserve to be there. You know what I mean? And I was so glad they played well because I don't want other teams to get shut out from these playoff games. Other small school teams to get shut out from these playoff games because they put up a good showing. I mean, yeah, it may seem like it was a 21-point defeat, but it really, I mean, they played tough, man, and they played hard, man. And I thought they put up a good showing, man. I really did. I really did.
Yeah, no, I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
So they did well. And speaking of not being proud, so there was a game that Georgia was involved in after that one, in the other playoff game. Not sure who they played because I swear I didn't see anybody else outside that football field. I really did. Because Tom Brady wasn't walking through that door. Desmond Howard wasn't walking through that door. Tim Biakabatuka wasn't walking through that door. I don't know why I felt this way. I didn't feel this way about the Cincinnati-Alabama game. I really did. But I felt this way about this game in particular. For some reason, I felt
what emotion were you feeling exactly? What
it was not even disappointment. It was like past that. It was God, I don't even know how to like almost like a you are who I thought you were type deal to me. Only because for some reason I know everybody was like, I know Michigan had a good defense. They actually finally beat Ohio State, who, by the way, one of the best Rose Bowls was played yesterday between Ohio State and Utah. But I'll get into that later. But what the hell? I knew Michigan was in trouble because I know they have trouble really scoring. Their main thing that they want to do is running. And it's so weird that a school whose head coach is a quarterback can't find a quarterback. He can't find a quarterback. And that hurt them because Georgia can stop. Hell, Cincinnati probably couldn't beat them. But Georgia can stop the run. It was to me, it was embarrassing. That's how I felt. Because they got ran out of the building before the game even started. That was my issue. It was like the first half, it was what? It was already 27-3. Why are you there? It's 27-3 at halftime.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I was so disappointed. I turned off the game in the second quarter. I said,
after halftime, I was done.
Yeah, I started watching. But here's the thing. Once again, I was talking to my brother, and I was like, what worries me about Michigan is scoring. But I was like, I don't know if they're going to be able to score against Georgia. But I was like, their defense should show up. Their defense did not show up, man. That's what disappointed me. I thought their defense was going to play a lot better. They got ran over. They got handled, man. They got handled. So that's where my disappointment. I expected them to struggle on offense. I did not expect them to struggle on defense like that, man. So,
like you said, I knew they were going to have trouble scoring, but I feel like they just didn't show. It's
what did it for. Here's what did it for me. Right, there was a play. It was a 3rd and 16 play. So for 3rd and 16. I forget which quarterback. I don't think it was McNamara. I think it was the other quarterback.
McCarthy.
Throws the ball 2 yards behind the yard of scrimmage on a 3rd and 16 pass. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of play call is that? That right there, I was like, okay. To me, that said a lot. That said a lot to me. That on a 3rd and 16. You're going to throw a pass.
A screen pass or something.
Right. Yeah, but it wasn't really, I guess it was kind of a screen pass, but even still, it was, man. I was like, y'all not playing, you're playing, to me, that's playing scared. Like, and of course.
It's not even playing, I feel like, at that point, you're outmanned. Like, you're outmanned. And as much as I am, me, my school's in ACC. I'm an ACC guy. And there's only one team in ACC recently that has been able to step up and play with these guys.
Right.
But there only seems to be one team in all of the other leagues that has been able to stand up against these guys, and that's just been Clemson.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's been killed in these games. Ohio State stayed close. I'll give it to Ohio State. They've been in these games. But like I said with the SEC, people's like, oh, it's always them. We'll beat them then. They put them in these situations because they beat the teams that they're put in front of. Period.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. Yeah, I mean,
if you like I said, if you can't beat them, join them. So that's what Texas and Oklahoma's do. You know what I mean? So if you just beat them, then and you can't do. I mean, Michigan went 12-1. Their only loss was to Michigan State, and they come to this game and they might as well just never even took the bus.
Yeah, I would have, after seeing these games, I would have much rather seen, Michigan versus Cincinnati and Georgia versus Alabama, which I think.
But that's what I was saying. But that's the reason that I said in the first place. I really wanted Michigan to be number one.
Yeah. I
really want, just so they could play Cincinnati, just so, and that game would have been closer, and I think Michigan would have won that game.
I don't know.
Only because I think both defenses would have been good. But again, Michigan would have the scholarship kicker, the guy who would come in and actually go through and win that for them as compared. You get what I'm saying? Like in those games, it comes down to those special teams plays.
I think Cincinnati might have beat Michigan, man.
They could have. I mean, because Cincinnati is a really good team, and Luke Fickell is a really good coach. Like I believe in that team. But that game would have been better than the two games that we just had.
Yeah. Well, the Alabama game in Cincinnati, I thought that was a good game.
It was just a bludgeoning. It was just like we're just gonna keep. Boom,
yeah.
Boom,
yeah. It was
that's all. But it was.
Yeah.
Just Michigan. It's. I don't know. I guess I have more of an issue to me with another power conference team just showing up against the SEC and just not being there.
Yeah.
Like to me, it was almost why I just feel like I'm almost embarrassed for them. It's weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, but we're going to have, and we'll go over Georgia, Alabama, the rematch next week because the championship game's on next Monday.
Okay.
The 10th. So, I don't know. I'm just here. I'm appalled.
Yeah.
But what I wasn't appalled.
Oh, good.
About was, New Year's Day, one of my favorite days of the year.
Okay.
For two reasons.
Okay.
The Rose Bowl parade.
Oh.
Which is one of my favorite. Which again, bucket list thing for me. Want to go to the Tournament of Roses parade, and of course the Rose Bowl, which is my Keith Jackson, the granddaddy of them all.
Okay.
And I look who was in the Rose Bowl. I knew who was in the Rose Bowl before. It was Utah and Ohio State. And I was like, Utah's boring. I don't want to watch. I'm not going to enjoy this Rose Bowl. Thank God I turned to that Rose Bowl because, my goodness, that game was fun.
Oh, wow.
That game was so back and forth. And one play, Ohio State threw like a 60-yard touchdown pass. The very next play, Utah returned a 92-yard kickoff return.
Okay.
And like 3 plays later, it was a 40-yard touchdown pass by Ohio State. They literally just left it out on the field, man. And it came down to a field goal with 12 seconds left with Ohio State winning. But that was an exciting freaking Rose Bowl, and I'm so happy for it. Because I felt like I needed something after that national championship games kind of left me blah. So, but I know how you're on a high because your Maryland team killed Virginia Tech in the Pinstripe Bowl.
Yeah, Tua Tagovailoa had a great game. I forget how many touchdowns he had. Maryland had a great game. I'm happy for him. You know what I mean? I think this is, if anything, it's good for them for recruiting purposes, and hopefully this will get them some momentum going into the next season. They still need to take a next step. Not just squeak by and win 6 games to get to a bowl game, but you got to be a little bit more competitive in your regular season schedule. I'm not saying you got to beat Ohio State. Those are tough teams, but you gotta be competitive against Iowa. You got to be competitive against Penn State. You got to be competitive against Michigan. you know, and you got to be they got to be games heard. They can't be blowouts. You know what I mean? I felt like those were too many blows, but I think this was a major step in a good direction. Tua will be back next year. We have a good recruiting class. Hopefully,
that's what they were saying. Like, I was watching some of the broadcasts, and they were saying that Locksley is a really good recruiter.
Yeah,
and he's getting some people in. And one of the guys said he took it a little too far. He's like, he's a good recruiter. Next thing you know, they could be playing for like a championship. And it was on ESPN. And the other guy's like, okay, I think you need to calm down a little bit.
A championship.
Yes, that's exactly what the other guy said. And when he said that, he looked at him. He was like, did you just say championship?
Oh, man.
So the guy's like, what you do first, you fight for the respect in the conference.
Yeah.
So you win the games against the Minnesotas. You consistently beat the Northwesterns. Like you said, upset the Iowas, because Iowa always got a good program. Beat the Illinois. Beat the Rutgers.
They did do that this year. They did beat Illinois.
Yeah, but I'm saying like consistently.
Oh,
like
okay,
Like be that team where you don't lose. Like losing to them is an upset to you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So you beat them. So when you maybe slip past and beat a Michigan State, it's not like it just add on to your season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what he was saying. He's like, I don't know about championship, but that's how you just you just need to build for respectability in the conference at first.
Right.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was like championship. He looked at it like, what?
So here's the thing, and I won't talk about this too long, but Locksley is a great recruiter. When his first stint at Maryland, he was great. At Alabama, he was great. Well, not so much you have to do, but there's still work you got to do. But he was great at Alabama. He's back at Maryland. He's getting good recruits. Apparently, they're bringing in a wide receiver, one of the top recruits in the country that they stole away from Florida. So
yeah,
he's
good. Anything that steals away from Florida is a good thing.
Yeah. But one thing I don't like about Mike Locksley's teams is that they're undisciplined. And I think, we still need to see whether or not this guy is a good X's and O's coach. I'm not convinced that he is. I hope I'm wrong. But I think he needs to improve in those areas. His teams have got to be more disciplined. That so many times, man, this year I watch games where, false starts, holdings, penalties, or just the start was it pre-snap penalties. Hated those, and just bad post play penalties. Roughing a passer, unsportsmanlike conduct. Gotta stop that type of stuff, man. I saw so many momentum killing drives because of pre-snap penalties and stuff. They gotta be more disciplined. They gotta be better coached, X's and O's wise. So we'll see, but I think this is a good step in the right direction. So
yeah, good. Now, speaking of bowl games, I got a question for you.
Sure. What's up?
So we were talking earlier, and I saw this absence in your eyes, this haze or malaise or whatever you might call it. So why is there this disconnect between you and the NCAA, like bowl system or bowl games?
Well, you asked me a question. What question did you ask me?
Yeah, I don't remember. So
you said, did I watch any bowl games?
Oh, yes. Did you watch any bowl games yesterday?
No. You know why?
No.
Because I watched 2 championship games the day before. Why should I watch anything else? Like, that's the one thing I don't understand about college football. I watched the 2 teams play games that are going to the championship. I don't care about any other. I don't care. Like, it means nothing to me. Like, I want to watch the games from the teams to see who's going to play in the championship game. That's it. That's all I care about. I don't care. Dude, I didn't even know how many games were there, like multiple games on yesterday? Because I have no idea. Dude, I have no idea. No idea. You know why? Because I don't care. All I wanted to know was who's going to the championship. I watched those games. That's all I need to know. Done. I'm done. What? That's how I feel. Like, dude, first of all, I totally forgot. You know why I forgot? Because I already watched the games that meant something. What? What? You don't agree? The two games. That's like saying, okay, let's watch the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game. Oh, and you know we're gonna throw another game after that. Like, no, I just want to see the two teams. I want to watch the games for the two teams that are going to the Super Bowl. I don't want to watch any games after that don't mean anything. What? Seriously, what? The championship game has been determined. Why do I need to watch anything else? Really? Just for entertainment?
College, okay. I'm a college football fan. Before the New Year's Day, every bowl game was on. It started at 11 o'clock with the Outback or Citrus Bowl, 11 a.m. On New Year's Day. Mm-hmm. And it went on to the last game, which was like the Fiesta Bowl. So it was like the Outback, Citrus, the Rose Bowl came out like 4 or 5 o'clock, the Sugar, the Orange, all those games. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's where I came from.
Okay.
So all those games are played on New Year's Day. The playoff games to me are just part of the bowl game system because I need to watch the bowl games because they're matchups that I would like to see. And those bowl games mean something to those kids, to me. The Fiesta Bowl last night was fantastic.
Wow, that was a Fiesta Bowl last night. Wow.
These are games that are played every year on January 1st. Unless that's where the semifinals are played. But the Rose Bowl is January 1st. Point blank, period. And that's like my favorite bowl.
So why can't you put the championship games on January 1st too?
It's too. It's not. You got to put it on prime time. And I don't know about how the scheduling. And I'm also not in the whole scheduling and people the day before. I don't know why they couldn't. I can't answer that question.
So this is about tradition, basically.
Yeah. But if, say for instance, they alternate those games where they're played at, the semifinal games, right? So I don't know why they couldn't have put them on January 1st unless they were going to mess up, say, the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl is smack dab January 1st. Finals in the Rose Bowl, and it would have been January 1st. So probably would have been the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl or something. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because you're not ever moving the Rose Bowl. Ever.
Okay.
Rose Bowl is never being moved.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, but to say the playoff is the only thing that anybody cares about is totally not true. Maybe for you because you're a regular fan.
Yeah, I'm a casual dude.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm a fanatic of college football. So my day starts with the Rose Bowl parade at 11 a.m. And it goes on from there to the Outback Bowl, to the Citrus, to the Rose Bowl, Sugar. I watched every single one of these games because that's my whole day. That's what I do. That's what I enjoy.
Yeah.
Now, other, like, for instance, the other bowl games after the first, unless it's something important, like on Tuesday, January 4th is the Texas Bowl. I'm not watching it. I don't care about that.
There's still more bowl games?
No, there's only one more.
Lord.
Yeah. So before the national championship. So that game I don't care about. Anything on January 1st is do or die for me.
Okay.
I'm watching Sugar, Citrus, Orange, Peach, whatever. All those games mean the most to me. So I don't care if the national championship game semifinals are played the day before, the day after. January 1st is my day.
I got you.
For all those games. So it's a whole day of, plus you have to love the sponsors. It's just a whole day of just college football love fest. And I love college football.
So. Okay. I get that. For me, the casual person that doesn't have this history, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Watching all these games, to me, it just seems
unless you're still but the whole thing is if Maryland was in the Sugar Bowl, and you're not in the playoff.
Yeah,
right?
well, of course I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, that's one. But it still has meaning to college people. You get what I'm saying? Absolutely. Not just those schools, but fans of the sport are going to be watching. So that's what's there. Just fans of the sport who want to see a great game between the new head coach of Notre Dame and Mike Gundy from Oklahoma State, with Oklahoma State having the biggest comeback in Fiesta Bowl history. Watching that great game between the Utah and Ohio State team. It's just I can't get over it, and I love it.
Is he a man who's 40 still?
Or? He's way over 40 now.
Oh, okay.
I think he's like at least 48.
Okay.
So soon he can say, "I'm a man. I'm 50." So.
Oh man. Okay, so I get it. I get it. For just for the casual person though, it's just like, what's the point?
But for me, like the bowl games, even the bowl games that are played leading up to it, I'm gonna watch a couple of those. I'm not watching every single one. Like I said, I was watching the one between Virginia Tech and Maryland. What else did I watch? There was one between Houston and Auburn. I watch certain matchups because they're exciting to me. And that's what bowl season's about.
Yeah.
So, and again, do I feel like there's too many bowls? Yes. I feel like there's too many bowls.
Now, I do like the bowl system in that I like the fact that these college athletes who work so hard during the regular season have a chance to play in the postseason and get all those things that come with it. So I do like that.
Because you end up 7-5 as a tough season. You're Fresno State. You get to go play in the New Mexico Bowl. You get some swag. You get to play another team. I mean, that's, to me, that's like life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I do like that.
Yeah. I enjoy. I mean, one year we gotta go to the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Yeah.
So that would be fun. Anything. I mean, Armed Forces Bowl. Like I said, I'm not going to Yankee Stadium to see the Pinstripe Bowl this time. So, but your team dominated, so that was cool.
Yeah, they dominated at Yankee Stadium, so I did like that.
Which is again NYMD, right?
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, that was cool. So, all right, enough about college football. We'll talk about the final next week. We got to get to the NFL.
All right.
So we're going to run through the scores of last week. And no, I'm not avoiding the 56-14 beatdown of my team by the Cowboys. That did happen. I did see it. It was live. It was on TV, but I knew it was prime time. That's what happens. So my team got destroyed. There you go. Falcons over Lions. Rams beat the Vikings. Bills beat the Patriots. Make that division a little bit more competitive. Jets over Jaguars. Eagles over Giants. Buccaneers over Panthers. Texans upset the Chargers. Bears beat the Seahawks. Chiefs over Steelers. The Raiders over the Broncos. And Monday night, of course, the 8 in a row Miami Dolphins over the Saints. And let's talk about your game between you and Cincinnati, 41-21. Your quarterback was out that game. So what are your thoughts on that 41-21?
Yeah, so I thought Josh Johnson did well. This was a game. Let me remind you where
he did real well.
Yeah, I thought he played well. But this was the game where Joe Burrow, everybody wants to laud up and just give Joe Burrow all these kudos for throwing 525 yards against the Ravens, which to me that meant absolutely nothing because people don't understand. Joe Burrow was playing against a preseason defense. I mean, he literally, I'm not, this isn't hyperbole, y'all. He was playing against a preseason defense. There were 7 people that I counted from our practice squad playing on defense. That's 7 out of 11 people on defense. I saw like practice squad people. I mean, he was playing against this is like their whole healthy starting squad playing in the 4th season. Well, yeah, the 4th season of a preseason game. That's what this was like. And he threw 525 yards. He should have. Good for him. Now, people were saying, well, Wink Martindale earlier in the week, they were motivated by Wink Martindale saying, well, he hasn't earned a gold jacket yet and all this stuff. And that there were these disparaging comments against Joe Burrow, and that's really motivated him. And you don't want to piss Joe Burrow off by saying, give me a freaking break.
What?
Yeah, because Wink Martindale said, he's not like the quarterback. In so many words, he pretty much said, like, this isn't like preparing for like Aaron Rodgers, who, a Hall of Famer. This guy doesn't have his green jacket yet. We're not going up against number 17 like they had. And I mean, he said some stuff he probably shouldn't have said, but to me, it was like, whatever.
But he's not Tom Brady. He's totally right about that. Like, I never heard the words, be fearful of Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
the thing that pisses me off is like, okay, if you're going to talk about this game, right? If you're going to talk about this game, please talk about it in the context that the Ravens defense was freaking decimated and we had 7 freaking practice squad play. Dude, but see, they never do that.
No, that's my point. They never do that for anybody.
So then, right, the game was well in hand.
No, I'm sorry. They'll do that for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They won't do that for anybody else.
But it just pisses me off. And just like Aaron Rodgers last week, 3 touchdowns. Dude, he was playing against practice squad players.
Aaron does that against everybody.
I understand, but it was that much easier for him. That being said, so anyway, so I want to talk about this. So he throws for 525 yards, right? The last 2 possessions, they were clearly trying to, I don't want to say run up the score, but they were trying to run up the yardage, right? So they just stopped running the ball. They were just throwing the ball constantly, which I don't have a problem with. Early in the season, the Ravens kind of did the same thing. They wanted to get that 100-yard
rushing thing.
Yeah, so they needlessly let Lamar rush for like 5 yards to get that streak. That's fine. If Cincinnati wants to be stupid enough to expose their quarterback, coming off of season-ending knee surgery last year, and it was so stupid, Hurt, because they kept throwing the ball, and he almost got sacked. Like, he got sacked a couple times. He almost got sacked 2 more times. So you're going to expose your quarterback to getting hit to prove a point, which to me you're not even really proving. Go ahead. I mean, I had no problems with it. But if that dude would have got hurt,
it would look stupid.
Would have looked so dumb. And Hurt, the only reason why I say that because the Ravens were coming after him, dude. They sacked him, and he was escaping, dodging sacks and stuff. Like, why? And I'm like, why are they throwing the ball? So it's whatever. Good for them. Good for them. Now let's see him talk all this stuff against the Chiefs. Y'all beat the Chiefs, then okay, cool. But to me, what they did against the Ravens showed me nothing. Hurt. Seriously, it was nice that he threw for 500 yards. Hey, that's a nice number. But dude, I'm telling you, Hurt, the players he was playing against, it's like them playing 4 quarters against a preseason game. I'm serious. But anyway, that's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, in the words of Forrest Gump. That's all I got to say about that.
Perfect. Let's get into why did I just leave from where I came from? All right. Real quick, let's go to today's games.
All right.
Before we get into Ask Brian NFL questions. Ask Brian NFL questions.
Yeah.
All right. First game. Let's just go Eagles, Washington. Who you got?
They're at Washington. I'll take the Washington football team today.
All right, I take the Eagles, and I take that Jalen Hurts will get for 30 yards rushing and surpass Lamar Jackson for top QB rushing yards for the year.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he's about to pass that?
Yeah, he's got 740 rushing yards right now.
Oh, 740.
Yeah.
Oh! I thought you meant he was going to break his.
Oh no! Just for the season. Just.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
I got Philly. Falcons at Bills.
Oh, Bills better win that one.
Bills better win that one, exactly.
Yeah.
Giants at Bears.
I will take. I'll take the Bears.
Now I'm gonna take the Bears. We got Colts at home to the Raiders.
I need the Raiders to win this game, so I'm taking the Raiders.
I'm going to take the Colts. Win. Patriots, Jaguars, Patriots. Okay. Yeah. Bucks, Jets, Bucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chiefs at Bengals. The aforementioned game. Who we got?
Wow, I didn't realize this was at Bengals. Ooh.
Yeah, it's at Paul Brown.
That kind of changes some things.
34 degrees.
You know what? I'm still going to take the Chiefs, but man, I thought this was at the Chiefs. Yeah, I'll take the Chiefs.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chiefs as well. They've been on a roll, and I don't think Cincinnati's defense is that great. So I think they're gonna score. So I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, I need the Chiefs today. Okay.
Dolphins on the road in the Tannehill Bowl at the Titans. Dolphins looking for 9 in a row.
I'll take the Dolphins.
Not 9. It's not 9 in a row.
Yeah, it's 9 in a row. Yeah.
Is it 9?
Yeah, if they win today, it'll be 9. If they win today, it's 9.
They lost their first 7 in a row?
They were 1-7, yeah.
1-7. So then this would be 8 in a row.
Yep.
This would be 8 in a row. Okay.
No.
Dolphins,
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess you're right. It will be 8 in a row. My bad.
So who you got? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll take the Dolphins.
Okay. I knew you were going to pick the Dolphins. So I'm going to pick the Titans.
Okay.
Let me see. Bucks, we got Rams on the road going down to a balmy 63 degrees today. Baltimore.
Much to the dismay of my youngest daughter, it's going to be in the 60s. It's going to be in the 60s today. Huh?
She doesn't like the 60s?
Yeah. Well, her thing is like, she's like, man, she's like the climate change. She's like, this is all due to climate change and the environment's all jacked up. And
I agree, because tomorrow ain't going to be 63.
It ain't? Oh, really?
Turn those numbers around.
Oh, man. Okay.
That's the high tomorrow.
Great.
Okay. Great. Yeah. So that's Baltimore. 63 today, 36 tomorrow.
That is funny, man.
I swear this is the only place that does that. Maybe it's me. I haven't lived. When I first moved here, short story, people, just short story. When I first moved here, the extreme temperatures I never knew the importance of layering up until I lived here.
The importance of what? The importance
layering.
Oh, okay.
Because you will literally leave the house at 22 degrees to come home to 58. And you can't wear the same thing at the same, it's such huge difference. It's in the same day. I was like, why does this happen? Because especially, dude, when I used to take buses when I first lived here, it's the worst.
Yeah.
I was trying to walk with my coat and sweating because it was like when I was out earlier, it was 30. Why is it 70 now? I have no idea. I don't need these gloves anymore. I don't know why I have this heavy jacket that I now have to carry on my shoulder.
That's Baltimore. That's
me more than in my book bag because now I'm sweating bullets. So yeah, so the high tomorrow is supposed to be 36, 37 for the next couple of days, and the lows are going to be in the 20s. So yeah, that's Baltimore. So it's the last warm day for the week. But Rams, Ravens, who you got?
Yeah, so I'm actually picking the Ravens this game. I truly believe they're going to win. I think they're going to be aided by the fact that they're going to be home today. I think that's the only reason why I'm really picking them. Now, I just railed on about their practice squad defense. They're getting some people back today, which should help. I think this is going to be the reason why I'm picking them is because I think this is going to be another game like the Green Bay Ravens game a couple weeks ago, where clearly they're going to score. The Rams are going to have no problem scoring. But I think it's just going to be a back and forth type game, and I am picking the Ravens to pull this one out at home. So
I'm picking Baltimore.
Oh, really? Why?
I just the Rams remind me of the team we're going to talk about next, the Chargers.
I knew you were going to say that.
I don't know who they are, even though they're 11-4. But there's games when it's just weird, like this weird dynamic between two teams. I don't know, but I'm picking the Ravens to upset the Rams.
So the bigger question is, should I be rooting against Tyler Huntley today? That's the conundrum I have. You know what I'm saying? Because someone decided to pick him up. Someone didn't have faith in their old quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Well, their old quarterback their old quarterback.
Yeah, their old quarterback. Yeah,
you can't win a championship with a quarterback facing your team like that. There's some sort of
So you take the alternative and take the team you hate the most and use that quarterback. Oh, man.
See, don't try to get into fantasy psychology right now. That's not going to work. Daggy, stick to your plan. Don't listen here. He's trying to psych you out.
It's all good. It's all good either way because
this is the first year
he wins. He won because he won with a Ravens quarterback. That's all I got. That's all it is to it. Look, at least there's always a silver lining, right? And that would be the silver lining. If he wins, it's because a Raven led him to victory.
Yeah, so, I'm sure. Yeah, right, Gracie. She's like, "What? I'm on TV again." Yeah, listen. Hey, at this point in the season, it is you got to do what you got to do. Yeah. COVID struck his quarterback. So yeah.
Yeah, I told her early in the season, I ain't making that mistake again.
Dude, where's David Garrard when you need him?
Oh man. Oh my gosh.
I still can't believe Yahoo was the last time you won, but that's the second one.
Yep. The only time I won.
Yeah, the first season. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah,
congrats to you both.
But you really think the Ravens gonna pull this one out, huh?
Yeah. Okay. I don't and like I said, I feel like this is kind of like I wouldn't call it like a letdown game, so to speak, but I feel like the Rams will come over here. It's 63 degrees. This is weird. It's a weird day.
That's the only thing, man. I wish if it was
cold.
I wish it was 30. Yeah, I wish it was 30.
I kind of feel like it was 30. If it was 30 something, they would play better. To be honest with you, because I feel like
the Rams.
Yeah. Because they're going to the mindset they're flying over here to coldness, and they're not. And it's like.
I'm not convinced that Matt Stafford's a good outside cold even though he's played in Lambeau, so maybe not. I will say this: that's another reason why I'm picking them as well is because
it's outside too, and it's been raining. That field's going to be wet, so
yeah. But I also think like the the whole West Coast to East Coast, that is a real thing. So
yeah, I got that's upset. All right,
who else we got?
We got Chargers at home to the Broncos.
I mean, the Chargers are going to win this game. They're going to win this game, right?
I don't know. I don't know. Why did they lose the games that they lose?
I don't.
They got blown out by Houston last week. Literally blown.
Yeah.
Who are these guys? I think Drew Lock is going to be quarterbacking again for the Broncos.
Exactly.
The Chargers need this game. They need this game. And let me go to, hold on. Are they in? I think they're out of the playoff race right now, right? Yeah, right now they're ninth. So they need a couple other teams to lose, but they have to win this game. They have no other choice. So I feel like my record in picking them is the same record that they have, which is like 8-7. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's just been so up and down. But I'm going, like you said, they had to win this game. I'm going to pick the Chargers. So we both got the Chargers. Texans at 49ers. I think Garofalo is going to play in this game.
Oh, he is? Oh.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be playing in this game. And it's of course it's at Santa Clara. So who you got?
Yeah, I'm taking the 49ers, man.
All right. Yeah, I'm taking the 49ers. All right, Cardinals on the road at Arlington, Texas to play the Cowboys.
I'm taking the Cowboys. Now you talk about it. To me, the Cardinals are the Chargers of the
NFC.
Yeah.
Earlier in the season, I would have picked the Cardinals without hesitation because I feel like they were a better team. Right now, they're not, and they're on this little skid. And the Cowboys are coming in with a lot of confidence. They're playing at home, and so they're 5-2 at home. Cardinals are 7-1 away. I still think Cowboys, unfortunately, going to win this game.
You know what's crazy? The Cardinals seemed like they were playing better when they had their people hurt. You know what I'm saying? When they had Kyler out and D-Hop out, even though he's still out. See, remember they were like 2-1.
I don't think they just haven't been fully. It was weird. Like their chemistry's changed, and they haven't been like. Their running game's been everybody's kind of come back a little bit, but yeah, like you were saying, when their main running back went out, it was just Connor, and he was doing well, but they've been losing still, but despite all that,
yeah.
I hate to say it, but that's it is. Panthers at Saints.
I oof. Ugh. If Ian Book's playing, I'm taking the Panthers.
All right. Well, Sam Darnold's playing, so I'm taking the Saints. So I'll take the Saints. Lions at Seahawks.
I'll take the Seahawks at home.
All right, Seahawks at home. They're playing the Lions. They have to win this game because they're playing at home. Now, my question to you, the first of the Brian questions.
Oh.
Is this Russell Wilson's last home game for the Seattle Seahawks?
Don't believe that hype. He ain't going nowhere.
Don't believe the hype.
No.
Is this Pete Carroll's last game at home coaching for the Seattle Seahawks?
No.
No.
I don't. Look, for all the talk about Russ leaving and all that stuff, I mean, I guess it could be, but if you're the Seahawks, why would you want to? Why would you want to part ways with Russell Wilson? I mean, I can understand why he would want to leave.
No, yeah.
But why?
But, I mean, do you really feel like that? It's weird because do you actually feel like that team's ever really backed Russell? I almost feel like when they were winning, it was about the Legion of Boom. You know, and it was like, the Beast Quake. And you know what I mean? But it was never really, when Russell was having those MVP type seasons, and they weren't really, winning. It's almost, I feel like they blame Russell for that interception against the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? After they won that Super Bowl. But I almost feel like he doesn't get, and I'm one of those people too. Now, he's not, believe me, he's way more noticeable than Mike Trout. And yes, I will mention Mike Trout in every podcast that we just to get his name out there. Because people don't know who he is. So I feel like he doesn't get the respect that he should be in there, honestly. So I have and there was this, when there's smoke, there's fire, I believe, in this season that they had. I feel like he's going to be, one of the two is going to be gone. I think it's going to be Russell.
Interesting.
I think Russell Wilson, that's his last. But yeah, they should win this game.
All right. I have a NFL question for you.
Oh, okay.
All right. We're in the year 2022 now, Hurt.
Yes, we are.
Will Deshaun Watson play in the year 2022?
Yes.
Will he play for Houston?
No.
Okay. All right.
Again, it still has to do with whatever the commissioner had, because it's been total silence on this whole thing. It's like he's in witness protection. I have no idea what's going on. They haven't mentioned anything. They haven't put up anything, so I really don't know what's going on.
This
so
dude,
I really go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was just gonna say this dude got paid $40 million to chill. So
yeah. So Packers at home to the Vikings. Your cold QB on Sunday night to try to win you a chip against the Vikings, who due to Kirk Cousins having COVID will not be playing in this game. Who you got?
Yeah, I got of course I got the Packers. I mean, this is a no-brainer. We should get to see, is Kellen Mond playing? Is he going to start? Do we know?
For the Vikings?
Yeah.
Let me see. I really don't even know.
Because I think he was also unvaccinated and may have had to been placed on a COVID list as well. So I'm not sure. But Kellen Mond is a quarterback I was really high on coming out of school. And I'm excited to see what he looks like if he plays tonight.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's either him or Sean Mannion, I guess they have. So they didn't say who's actually starting. Let me see. Teams are trying Kirk Cousins. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'll find out in a second.
Okay.
What was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So is this question number 2 or 3 now? Okay. Is this Aaron Rodgers' last home game for the Packers?
Absolutely not, because Aaron Rodgers is going to win another MVP, and he's going to why leave at this point? You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute, it's going to be 9 degrees when they play? Oh, shoot.
Dude, they had the NHL game last night. It was -10. And it was in Minnesota.
Gosh.
So it was -10 when they had the NHL Winter Classic last night.
It's going to be 9 degrees. Should I be starting Aaron Rodgers, man?
Yes, you should.
Oh man.
Yes, you should.
9
degrees. So you know they're gonna run the ball a lot. 9 degrees. But you get until 4 o'clock to make a decision. So 9 degrees and a wind chill. Don't forget the wind chill.
I'm not liking this 9 degrees stuff, man. But anyway.
What was I gonna say? Okay, so you think he's gonna be back?
Yeah.
Okay, Sean Mannion is gonna be starting.
Okay. Ugh. That's ugly. That's gonna be ugly. Is Dalvin Cook hurt still?
No, Cook's going to be playing. He's played last week. He's fine.
Okay.
He was out for COVID. But he's back.
Okay.
Let me see. And that's the Sunday night game. The Monday night game, Browns at Steelers. Who you got?
Oh, man.
Matchup you love.
Ugh. I mean, the Steelers are a bad team, but they're going to win this game because the Browns are a bad team too, and they're at home. So,
all right. Question number 4 and 5 altogether. Is this Ben Roethlisberger's last home game with the Steelers?
absolutely.
And is this oh, come on. Oh,
Baker
man.
Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield's last trip to Pittsburgh as a Brown.
All right. Ben Roethlisberger, he's done. He is done, Hurt. He's done. He's going to go out and retire. He's not going to ever play for another team. He's going to retire. He's done. He's done. Kurt. What's his name? Baker Mayfield. Where did I get that from? Baker Mayfield. Nah, he'll be back. I mean, the thing is this: he's been Cleveland's most
successful quarterback, basically.
Yeah, in years. I mean, you can't just get rid of this guy, so he'll be back.
And in all seriousness, and I'm not trying to be funny here, there's way too much capital in him doing all those commercials at Brown Stadium.
Oh,
you can't get rid of the dude because he's been all his commercials are there. So he lives there. Yeah. I really believe he might live there. So you can't. He's got to be there at least for another season. Ben Roethlisberger, I do believe is done. I think he's done. Son. I think that's it for him.
He's done.
He should be. He should retire. He is probably 98 or something. Yeah. So I think that's it for him. So that would be it. That shall be it. But no Thursday games, of course, because the last week is next week.
Yep.
But so we have that. But speaking of last year was a full year, and I want to get to our player, coach, game, team, and comeback player of the year.
So we have our 2021 awards.
Yes, our 2021 awards coming up right now.
All right.
2021 awards. Player. And this through all sports. So it's not like we're going to do basketball, football. This is just one person. Who was your player of the year for the year 2021?
Well, I have co-player of the years because I couldn't pick just one. But my co-players of 2021 are the ageless Thomas Brady.
Tom, you picked Tommy.
Yeah, dude, you won a Super Bowl at 44. Your 7th Super Bowl at 44 years old. Dude, look, as much as I hate the guy, I mean, I gotta give him respect, man. Like, I don't know how much avocado ice cream he's eating, but it must be doing something, dude, because that dude
that TB12, man. Matter of fact, I need to Google that. I need to get on
there. Yeah.
No ketchup. I can't eat bread at Subway.
Yeah. I love this version of Tom Brady.
I need some, I need to go invest in cryptocurrency. So.
But so yeah, Tom Brady, but I also got to give it to my boy Giannis Antetokounmpo, man, for doing his thing and bringing the Bucks championship, man. So those are my co-players of the year.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with both players you said, but I'm only going to pick one.
And I know which one you're going to pick.
Well, obviously. I mean, the name Greek Freak, I mean, and he really is. And he really put that team on his back, and all the other Middleton and all the other people that helped out. But Giannis was really the MVP of the league, MVP of the season, and taking that team and giving Milwaukee a championship. This first one, or the state, since Aaron Rodgers won one with Green Bay. I mean, it's just a small market team. Having a little whatever they call it, the deer stand outside. It was just cool watching all those people, even if it was COVID, going around, just standing out there celebrating. The small market. It was just good and fun to see. Yeah. So, but Giannis, definitely my respect. And to me, the player Anthony Davis should be. So I'm gonna give it to Giannis for my player of the year. All right. Coach of the year.
All right, my coach of the year. Well, we talked about this a little bit earlier today, and I really gotta give it to this guy, man. I thought, these brothers, man, they've done some excellent coaching jobs this year, honestly. But I think the best coaching job to me was the brother Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, man. I mean, Jim Harbaugh, man. I got to give it to him. Look, he got his team to the playoffs. He beat Ohio State. He was 12. I think it was like 12-1 this year before yesterday or before a couple days ago. Look, man. I mean, people gave him a lot of stuff, man, and he took it. And I just got to give him credit. He almost got his team to the promised land. Yeah, they had a bad showing against Georgia, man, but I still think I still think he had a very, very good year, man. And I'm going to give it up to Jim Harbaugh.
Cool. He was one of my finalists. Also had Mike Budenholzer on there. But I got to give it to Bruce Arians. I mean, Bruce, like I said, no team has ever won a Super Bowl in their own stadium. Yeah. They did that. Again, I know he had a whole different quarterback, but just the team that they put together, I don't know what it is. Like, he's always turns the same color as his shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it. And he has on like the Life Fest. I don't know what he has.
Yeah, what is that?
I have no clue, but he's just one of those coaches that you just either you hate him or you love him, but mostly you probably love him. I'm just glad he got rid of that little fedora-looking thing that he used to have. But everybody who's played underneath Bruce Arians loved the guy. So I'm going to give my coach of the year to Bruce
Arians. And the reason why I like that pick is because he has a very diverse coaching staff. Both of his I think all of his coordinators are people of color. He has a female coach on his staff as well. So and I think that I think it's just a good example of like, hey, you can do this in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be the status quo. You can get it done with diverse people. You can win championships with diverse people throughout the team, in the coaching staff, in the front office, and with your players. So I like that, man.
So, what else? Oh yeah. So yes, game of the year. What was your game of the year?
This is easy for me, and this is a little homerish, but it is what it is. The Ravens defeating the Chiefs week 2 on Monday night. Sunday Night Football. Man, that was a great game. They beat the Chiefs 36-35. Lamar and the Ravens ran it down their throat. Lamar, that's when he did the flip into the end zone. Beating, all we heard was Lamar can't beat the Chiefs. Oh, that's the kryptonite. But it was an entertaining game. It was a really good game, 35-36, and it was capped off by a sack recovery from Odafe Oweh, which kind of sealed the game for the Ravens. So that was definitely my favorite game of 2021.
Gotcha. My favorite game of 2021, college football, of course. And I got to go with Kansas over Texas. Kansas is 3-16 all time against Texas. 2 of those wins came in 1901, 1938. The last one did come in 2016, but Kansas is a terrible football program. But this game was a 57-56 barn burner in overtime. Now, mind you, it was only one overtime. So that score was in regulation. Not
Okay.
4 overtimes like Illinois and Penn State, and they still only got like 20-something points or whatever.
Didn't Alabama Auburn have like a 6
That was 4.
game?
That was 4.
Oh, that was 4.
They had 4 overtime. But that was 24-22.
Okay.
But this was like a real game, and what I loved about it the most was Texas scored, kicked a field goal. Kansas scored, and they said, "You know what? We're going for 2," and they went for 2, and they got it, and they won the game, and it was just a huge celebration. One of the fullback that caught the pass was like a walk on the Kansas. His parents were at the game. It was a whole video. It was just pretty cool to see. So, and of course, college football is the best. I love it, and this game was just that epitomizes college football. So Kansas over Texas.
Okay.
Team of the year. Team of the year.
We might have a consensus on this one. To me, by far, the team of the year was the Milwaukee Bucks. I just think I just like the fact that they got over the hump. I don't know if a lot of people really have faith in Giannis to help get them over the hump. They beat a good Phoenix team that was on the roll in the playoffs, and they did it, man. I just really have a lot of respect for that team. They're my team of the year, man.
Yeah, but I got the Bucks.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, that's I don't think it. I mean, not saying it can't go to anybody else because it can. It should. Other teams are always should be considered the team that won the baseball World Series, whatever. You could talk about, of course, Super Bowl winner, the Tampa Bay Lightning. We win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
All those things could just be mentioned. But to me, it was just the Bucks and what it meant to that city and everything. So
yeah,
I got the Bucks. And last but not least, the comeback player of the year.
Well, there's only one answer to this question, and once again, we're keeping it right back home, man. Trey Mancini, comeback player of the year. I mean, the fact that this dude returned from prostate cancer, was able to play the full season, played in a home run derby, and almost won that. He, such an inspiration, a good guy, a really, really great guy. And to do what he did this year, and to do what he did, and think about all that he overcame. I mean, he played this year like you wouldn't even have known. Like, honestly,
he played the whole season.
Yeah, like if you didn't know, and he had a great season too, statistically. Like if you didn't know what happened to him, you oh really? He came back from cancer, really? Dude, he had a great year, and I just wish him well. Wish him well, continue with good health, and he was just such an inspiration this year, man. So
it's gotta be Trey Mancini. I think it was colon cancer he had.
Oh, colon cancer. Oh, okay. Yeah. It was colon cancer. It was.
So, and he underwent surgery. He had 6 months of chemo. So, before I get emotional, he had a great season, and he deserves it. He deserves all the kudos, all the praise, and I wish him nothing but continued health, nothing but continued success. And I'm rooting. And he's an Oriole. I don't care what team he put. Honestly, he could be a Yankee. I could care less. Yeah. I'm rooting for him, for what he went through, and and how he's inspiring other people to fight and keep going. And he's a young guy.
Yeah,
he's a young guy. He's 29, and to go through that and to fight back. So, definitely root for him and his continued success throughout his whole career.
Yeah,
so, definitely Trey Mancini. So, all right, real quick. I know we got things to do, but we got to talk about Spider-Man. So I don't care what we else we got to do, people. And the last of the trilogy, we had Homecoming, then we had No Way Home, and then Far From Home, then No Way Home.
Yeah.
So it was all a trilogy, and I went to see it on Thursday. Brian saw it, I think, 2 minutes after it came out. But yeah, man. So let's break it down. No Way Home.
Yeah, man. Well, look, you know how I feel about it. We didn't really talk about it. I love this movie, Hurt. I loved it. Man, I don't even know.
Well, you're a Spider guy, though, right?
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I think somebody asked me, like, I don't know if it was you or Nathan, but somebody asked me who's my favorite superhero. I never really thought about it, but I think it is Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man. The more I think about it, it's Spider-Man, and I'm really loving Miles Morales now too. So Spider-Man that's my dude, man. But this movie, spoiler alert,
No, this is gonna be spoilers, people. If you haven't seen it, which you should have already, thank you. Have a good year. We'll see you next week. Okay?
Yeah.
We're spoiling everything.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
This movie pulled off what we were all hoping they were going to pull off, and they did it to me. I don't want to say flawlessly, but almost perfectly, man. I thought the story was great. First of all, the reason why I love Spider-Man so much is because he's such a relatable character. He's just a normal dude going through normal things, normal problems that we all have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the movie starts off with him, dealing with the fact that everybody knows who he is now, and the repercussions of that, not only to him but to his family and his friends. And it's just like, the weight of that and just the effect that it had on the people around him really, messed him up. And that's the reason why he wanted to change. I mean, he was really selfless in this ordeal. I mean, in this whole thing. And it wasn't, he wanted to change things not for selfish reasons, but really to help the people around him. But of course, in doing so, we get some multiverse madness hurt.
Well, in normal Spidey fashion, he asked for something and they kept trying to change it. just to try to make it perfect. And it kind of made everything go out of whack. So that's what Peter does. And again, he's, a little bit older. He's in high school, but he's been through, he saved the world. He's been to space. He's gone through a lot. The Mysterio, losing Tony, and it's just, so he just wants to make everything better for everybody. But that's who the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man has always been. Yeah. And in doing that, he always has to make sacrifices. And I think this came back to the core of who Peter Parker is.
Yeah.
And I think it was a nice way to bring it back home, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because this Peter was different than the other Peters we almost had when they started from the beginning. This Peter showed up in Marvel over in the MCU as this guy swinging in, and then his movie started. So it's like we kind of got a different introduction into who he was. You know what I mean? The other ones were just standalone people in their movies, where he was actually in an ensemble, and then he had his own movies. You know what I mean?
Because if you think about it, he had the backing of the Avengers and like Tony Stark. I mean, his suits were like Tony Stark suits. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he was
found out. Yeah. The other Spider-Man didn't have any of this. They were really just them doing their own things on their own without help or people around them.
Right.
So that's and what was I saying?
Well, you're on mute. I guess you muted yourself on purpose. I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay, there you go. I was gonna say what was I saying? Yeah, so I like how all that was kind of brought back to where we are now.
Yeah.
It was almost like just Peter again being Peter, and had to make sacrifices. It's funny. The only surprise to me was the beginning scene, and I knew everybody else was going to be there. I kind of had a feeling, all the people who showed up. But when my boy showed up in the beginning, dude, I was so free. I literally was in the theater. I was like, yes. I was like,
okay, so we're talking about Matt Murdock.
Dude, oh my God. And not only Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox is Matt Murdock.
Exactly. Yes.
So I just sat there and he was like, it's like, how did you do that? I'm a really good lawyer.
That was awesome.
Dude, I was so happy. We just started talking about it.
Yeah, we just started.
And where'd you go? I mean, come on now. Dude, I was just so happy to see Matt Murdock.
Yeah, that was cool, man. That was cool.
Yeah, because again, in New York, all these heroes intertwined with each other, and I'm kind of glad all this kind of sort of happened.
Yeah.
And it was my whole thoughts about the movie was after I left, my first thoughts were I liked Far From Home better than this one, but I liked all three together. Like I really fit like how they kind of started. They almost went backwards in a way. They started at 10 and went back and brought Peter back to who Peter is. You know what I mean? And I really liked how they did. I really like how they did that.
Now, why did you like Far From Home better? What made Far From Home better?
It was because it had that moment for me. I really didn't expect Mysterio to be Mysterio. Like, I mean, Mysterio to me is a C level villain, in all honesty. Mm-hmm. He's like the Electros of the world, the Rhinos, whatever. Like, I don't really care about them. But they made him into something more. And then there was just the scene of when he fooled them. And it was like, oh, everybody, bravo. I was like, I felt like I was in the scene and I got fooled.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like I was like, what just happened? Like that's what got me in that. I was really just shocked that happened. You know what I mean? In this one, I don't think I was. I loved it. Such an emotional movie. You know, I'm an emotional person. So all the emotions of everybody that was in it, like balled up into one, was really, 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 really good. So I think this to me, this was the most emotional Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was very emotional.
Yeah, it was almost as emotional as the one where I think it was Tobey Maguire, where he saved the subway train in New York, and they lifted him up, and he's like, "Oh my God, he's just a kid." You know what I mean? Like that felt it was such a raw moment, and it was like, "All right, we got you, go Spider-Man." You know, like it almost was like that, except it was multiplied by 3. You know, so yeah, I do that. Yeah, but I really did enjoy this movie.
Yeah, I like this movie because I think they had the task of pulling all 3 of the Spider-Man universes together, and I thought they did a really good job of doing that. They brought back people we've seen since 2002 or whatever, whenever the first Spider-Man came out. So that was cool, man. It was just I just like how they tied all these characters together, tied the story together. I like the plot of, hey, before we send these villains back to their universes, maybe we could fix them. You know what I'm saying? And give them a chance. I like that storyline.
Yeah, because I would have been like, see ya. Yeah. Boom, get out. Sorry. They died where they come from. Okay. That ain't my problem. Like before, it's like, it's not my problem.
Right.
And that to me, that's the New York part of me. That's not my problem.
Yeah.
But that's who Peter is, and that's who Aunt May was, and that's who Uncle Ben was to the other 2.
Yeah.
So like he was the conscience. Like great power comes great responsibility, and we got that line in this one because we didn't get it in this one.
No.
In this, and we got it, and it came from the person who's the closest to him, which was Aunt May.
Yep.
So I love that. And again, it's like I said, they just started going backwards in a way and bringing back Peter to who Peter really, the awkward teenager, no money having, trying to survive kid who makes mistakes and tries to correct them all the time.
Yeah.
And and I like how they brought us back to that simplicity of Peter.
Exactly.
Original costume. He's got a sewing machine.
Right.
He's just flying through New York, listening to the scanner, being this friendly neighborhood Spider.
Yeah. The end, I really like. I thought they ended this perfectly in a couple of ways. So, he, in order to save everybody, Doctor Strange had to create a spell where the world totally forgot about Peter Parker, which means everybody would forget about, would even know he existed, which means MJ and Ned, even the Avengers, you know what I'm saying?
Even Doctor Strange.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was almost emotional.
Yeah.
And we never seen an emotional Doctor. We seen like a sarcastic, a mean Doctor Strange. But like there was points in the movie where he's like, we saved the universe together, and I just forget that you're just a kid.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it was like a part of it was just like, wow, even he gets attached to people like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And so that was part. But let's get to the part where.
Well, hold on. I didn't finish my thought.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, so the reason why I like the ending is because he had a chance to try to convince MJ and Ned, hey, it's me, it's Peter, remember me, blah, blah, blah. But it's like he looked at MJ, he saw the bandage on her head, and he was like, you know what, because of me, she got hurt. You know what I'm saying? They're happy. They got into MIT. This is the happiest I've ever seen her. Nah, man, you know what? I'm gonna let them live their lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. But the whole genius of the ending is everybody forgets who Peter Parker is. And it's genius because, as we know, this movie almost didn't get made, y'all. All right, we got to remember this. This movie almost didn't get made because Sony and Disney were beefing. Remember, Sony pretty much lent Spider-Man to Disney, right? Disney pretty much has like all the creative control, and Sony pretty much pays for is paying for the movie. And they couldn't come to an agreement. It took them a while for them to come to agreement as to how much of the pot Sony would get versus Disney. So we didn't even know we were going to get this movie. They came to an agreement, right? But the slick thing of this movie is we don't know if we're going to get any more MCU Spider-Mans. But the cool thing with this ending is because everybody forgot about Peter Parker. If Sony wants to make future movies with Tom Holland without the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they can. If they want to let Disney continue to make movies, they can. You see what I'm saying? That was so. I just think it was such a cool ending when you think of even that aspect of it. It ended in a way that was believable and it made sense, but it also ended in a way so that if they want to make more Spider movies with Tom Holland, they can, either Sony or Disney. And let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Let me tell you something. If Sony's smart, they will keep Tom Holland in the MCU because Spider-Man No Way Home is Sony's highest grossing movie ever.
Yeah, because they know where their bread is getting buttered. And I get that they know that they have this character. But the only reason that it's doing so well is because Disney's helping out. Right. Just to be totally honest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so the reason, and also the Doctor Strange is a Marvel MCU character. So he was borrowed, so to speak, in this movie to help out with everything. But Spider-Man will appear in a future MCU movie. Now, again, he's only going to be Spider-Man. They don't know he's Peter Parker anymore. So all the stuff that they did with Spider-Man, they know they did with another hero. They don't know who the hero is anymore.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So that makes it a little bit more mysterious. So they're like, oh, yeah, Spider-Man. And then it's like, they don't know who Spider-Man is. Right. They just know they saved the world with Spider-Man. And that's what makes it cool. And then at that point, it's going to be such a whole different thing. And what I also like is the ending. The first preview that we had with the after credit scenes.
Okay, so we had Venom make an appearance?
Yeah, Venom making an appearance. But let's go back real quick, rewind to the rage point that Dan brought up.
Okay.
Because number one, Peter Parker, I liked how they numbered each other too, by the way. He's like, I'm 1 year, 2 year, 3.
Yeah.
When Peter was gonna take down Norman, like he was heated. Like that dude was not. He was not weighing back his punches. That dude was punching Norman as hard as he could, and he was about to take that sled and just go. And then Toby comes in and is like, the older, as I call it, the older Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, like you probably don't want to do this. And he's really like, Arr! And it was just so cool. And he just then stuck the thing in his neck and, helped cure him. But it was a really good moment because he gotta be angry. He's gotta be upset. Aunt May's gone. He's got killed Aunt May. And he can say it's partially his fault too. But it's like she's gone because this guy came and she's trying to do the right thing as well. And now she's gone. So I want to hurt this guy. And I'm glad like the other Spider-Man were there. Like Andrew Garfield's one, of course, the one we always think is the third Spider-Man. They made him redeeming to me. I even liked him in this movie.
Yeah, dude. Totally.
And he was just like, no, he's like, when I lost everything, I had rage. I started, hurling, just going at and capturing bad guys. And I'm wasn't pulling my punches. I was punching everybody's heart. I was really angry. He's like he was a rage monster. And I'm so glad that they had that because it's like, what happens when they lose somebody? You just go back to normal? Right. They can't. There's got to be hard feelings. There's got to be hurt. There's got to be pain. So, and they all went through it. And that's why, like, when they're all in the room talking about when he lost Aunt May, and they talk about Uncle Ben, and when he lost Gwen, and it's just, they're all just sitting there. And I tell you, all three of them are some good criers because they were tearing up some tears in that movie theater. So, I mean, it was like I said, that's why it was a very emotional thing, because they all lost something or someone. And like I said, I don't even remember this. I didn't even watch the movie with Electro in it. So I didn't even really watch that one. So, because I was like, this is going to be garbage.
Yeah.
But when Andrew showed up, I was just kind of like happy. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But then the whole little, I just stuck to the ceiling. Yeah. Can you get that cobweb over there? Yeah. And MJ's throwing the bagels at him.
Yeah.
And, it's like, please don't throw bagels at me. I just want to see if you had that spider tip. It's like it's a bagel.
But wasn't it cool seeing all three of those Spider-Men like on screen?
Oh, dude, it was great. It's like that little thing where they had all the Spider-Men pointing at each other, like
He's like Peter Parker. He's like Peter. They're like, which one?
Yeah. But the thing is, they all came back and they helped the younger version of this Peter in this universe.
Yeah.
And of course, the best part of the movie was Electro. I thought it was gonna be a black Spider-Man. Dude, I was dying. I love it.
That was nice. He's like, there's gotta be a black Spider-Man.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that was one of the best parts.
Yeah. So yeah, it was very well done, man. Yeah. I just think I'm so amazed at just the creativity and just the stories and all the stuff that Marvel does, man. I mean, it's so cohesive, it's so creative, it makes sense. I love it, man. I really love it.
And like you said, this is like almost a whole reboot, and they can do another trilogy with Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And the way that they left off was perfect.
Yeah.
As much as I love Venom, the character, that Venom isn't the Venom that I like. You know what I mean? It's not the Venom that I care about. And the fact that Venom got transported back to his universe or whatever it was, and they left a little bit of that little.
Yeah.
Oh my, the possibilities.
Yes.
So I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. But my whole, if I was writing it, if I had the pencil, that little symbiote would first go straight after Peter. Because I would love to see him as that Spider-Man. Because I think he would do a great job.
Yeah.
Having that costume and having that sort of power.
So, question: which one is your favorite Spider-Man, and which one is your favorite Peter Parker?
Oh, Tom Holland's my favorite Spider-Man.
Okay,
but he's definitely my favorite Spider-Man. He's my favorite Peter Parker. He's my favorite Peter Parker. Okay. My favorite Spider-Man is probably Tobey.
Same here.
Yeah,
same here. I loved it. It's weird because I actually watched Spider-Man 2 after seeing No Way Home. And I forgot how good Tobey Maguire is as Peter Parker.
He was real good. Yeah, the dude.
Oh, man, he was such a good Peter Parker, dude. But I think I like the Tom Holland version better, man. I think what really makes it work with Tom Holland, too, the dude's like 25, but he really looks like a little kid. I mean,
you know what? To me, the reason... Yeah, and to me, the reason this Peter is different is because he interacted with more people. Like, he was still a kid when he blipped. This Peter blipped. This one blipped. This dude was gone for 5 years. So he could actually still be 25 and trying to get his GED. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he disappeared. He was gone. This one fought with the Avengers. The other ones didn't. Yeah. So this Peter had a totally different experience growing up where, he comes home and Aunt May's talking to Tony Stark.
Yeah.
So so his Peter was so different, even when he was fighting, Captain America. It's like, where you from? Brooklyn. I'm from Queens. It's like this little fanboy. What should I do, Mr. Stark? You know what I mean? Such a different vibe to it, Yeah. But I definitely love Tobey's. Yeah, they had no clue who the individual.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah. That was funny. Also, man, I gotta give props to freaking Willem Dafoe, and Alfred Molina, man. They did not miss a beat, man.
No,
as Doc Ock and and Norman
Yeah,
Osborn.
Green Goblin, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Willem Dafoe, man.
That dude, it was just like Peter, and then he
Yeah.
was just like, just
Man,
turned back. And I'm glad Doc Ock came back to his senses. But I love that scene when they were first fighting.
yeah,
And you're not Peter,
yeah,
you know? And it was just, and then he turned the arms against him, and that was pretty
yeah.
cool.
That was funny. That was so cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so good. So
and
good.
then all the technology and different things, like looking around, like, wow, that's new. What
Yeah.
nanotechnology? Like they had no clue. They had
Right.
no clue what was going on. So
Yeah,
yeah, I did like all of that. Again, did you bring back who you wanted to bring back? I mean, Electro I didn't watch that movie, so I really could care less about that Jamie Foxx character. He was funny. He did have good lines, but I didn't know who he was. You know what I mean? Sandman, I knew. Again, he was in there in a different version with a different Venom. I didn't like that movie at all. So all that played together. But yeah, this is definitely, like you said, this is the highest grossing one they probably have. I would make another trilogy with Tom Holland. I feel like you have to, and I loved it. And now my question to you to end all this, because then we gotta go soon.
yeah.
How do you feel about the ending or the last trailer with Doctor Strange? Does that make you want to go see Doctor Strange?
I was disappointed by that because essentially, breaking news: bringing QB back in 2020 is number one priority. This is the Green Bay Packers talking about Aaron Rodgers. I just got that alert. All right, because you would ask me that question. Now I was disappointed by that second post-credit scene because it was essentially a mini trailer for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I was hoping to get something else. I could see a trailer another time. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's one of the movies I'm kind of excited about. We're going to get to see Wanda again, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Look, it's 2022, so the countdown has officially begun. There's only one movie that I'm excited about this year, and all I'm saying is October 4th, 2022. I got 10 more months. That's all. That's all I'm worried about.
I have no idea what it is.
Across the Spider-Verse, son.
Okay, that's when that comes. I got you.
October 4th, 2022. That's the only movie this year I'm waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, no, but I can't. I'm looking forward to this. Morbius comes out next month, I think.
This month.
That was this month? Okay.
Yeah.
This month.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange because I love the fact that Disney Plus shows matter, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think we saw, and not only that, the Disney Plus shows with that, but we might see that What If Doctor Strange come up.
Yeah. That was pretty slick. I will say
dude, that had me. I was like, if I saw a tentacle, I would have lost my mind. So I love the fact that watching these shows is paying off into these, further shows that we're going to watch and into the movie life that we're ever given. So
yeah.
But that's our first show of 2022. It went longer than we ever have, probably here on our YouTube. But thank you everybody for tuning in today. It was just a year in review, a year looking forward to a tremendous and wonderful year. Please subscribe and like our podcast, N1MD Podcast. Of course, you could follow us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter. And of course, you could just download us and follow us on Spreaker and Stitcher apps, as well as Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Wherever you find podcasts, you will find us, the N1MD Podcast. So for Cameron and Brian, have a great 2022. And everybody enjoy and be safe. And we'll see you next week.
Happy New Year, y'all.